It's been running strong for more than 6 decades, but today, for the first time in history, in 63 years, the Shawnee Mission North relays were canceled. The meet has a storied past. You got Olympians like Maurice Green, NFL guys like Darren Sproles have all competed at Merlin Gish track, but because of the weather, they had to cancel it. Well, the bad boys may make the news more often, but there are some great athletes grabbing headlines for their good deeds, and you can add former Chiefs quarterback Trent Green to that list. Last night, Trent and his wife Julie unveiled the Hike Reading Achievement Program, pledging a 5-year commitment, $250,000 to help raise reading levels of kids right here in Kansas City. It's a great cause, one that will help as many as 2,000 kids, but we couldn't let him go without talking a little bit of football. KCTV5 Sports Director Michael Coleman asked him about last week's draft and what he thought of the new regime out at Arrowhead.
Chiefs had their draft. Everybody had their draft. Everybody always likes their draft class. Your evaluation of what Andy and John did?
Well, you know, here's the funny thing about it. You said everybody has their evaluations and their opinions. Come back to me in like 3-4 years, and then we can evaluate that. Because it's so funny when you get these grade reports about the draft. It's like, how do you know? You know, I was an 8th round pick, and I snuck around for 15 years and made it. So I mean, it's hard to make those grades until later. But I think, you know, John and Andy did such a good job of addressing a lot of starting needs through free agency. 23 new free agents or trades that were brought in the offseason prior to the draft, and I think that addressed a lot of the starting needs. And you know, you go out and get an Eric Fisher in the first round, that obviously is a starting need. That's a need that needs to be addressed. And I think a lot of the other players, not that they can't be starters or will eventually be starters, but I think it addressed a lot of the needs we needed from a, and you hear that, I said we.
Yeah.
Like I was
you're there. You're still there.
So it's, you know, we addressed a lot of needs as far as depth is concerned, so it was good. I thought they did a nice job, but there's really no way to grade it for a few years. So.
The quarterback class took a hit to hear some folks talk, and your thoughts on that, and the fact that the guy that was the first quarterback taken wasn't even on the radar until the 4th round.
You know, that was. That was crazy. You know, it was, you know, you hear about the quarterback class, and I always get a kick out of that because, like I said, I was an 8th round pick, so I wasn't really high on anybody's board. So when I hear that, it's so hard to make that evaluation. And you know, we've all heard of, you know, the Eric Crouches, the Tim Couch, Jamarcus Russells, the Heath Schulers. You know, you hear about guys like that are first-round picks that don't make it. Well, why is that? What makes that evaluation process? And I know teams think that they're making the right pick, but you know, you look at a Tom Brady 6th round pick. You know, you have guys like that that go on and become some of the best ever. So I think that's what's so hard about evaluating quarterbacks is you don't know, number one, how they're going to adjust to all of a sudden being in the college limelight to all of a sudden this is your job and this is your daily commitment. In some kids' cases, the pressure's too much and they can't handle it. Some kids can't handle the speed of the game. They can't handle the pressure of the money, the community involvement, all those things involved. So it's hard to measure that, and so it'll be interesting because this quarterback draft class was so low rated, how they ultimately end up. And I would think that that's going to be a motivational tool for a lot of these kids.
More from Trent Sunday night and off the bench. And finally, here's what happens when you text at a ball game, even when you're sitting in the high-dollar seats. Now, this is my friend Jude, and I'm going to withhold his last name. This is embarrassing. He's texting and gets drilled on the bucket by a foul ball Sunday at the K. And full disclosure here, this guy was a terrific baseball player. He should know better. More from Trent Green Sunday night and off the bench. And by the way, there's not 8 rounds in the NFL draft anymore. How about that? This stuff still blows me away. Snow at the K. Have a great weekend, everybody.